to take a load off and unwind as America's political infighting, class divides, moral indolence, and environmental self-destruction gradually tear the nation apart.
Our righteous warriors will devote our time to relaxing and really soaking in the infidels' self-destruction. America's cities will be reduced to ruins. The economy will come to a standstill. And we, the blessed of Islam, will kick back, put our feet up, and enjoy the show. It's going to be great.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
That's right, it is Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do on Free Talk Live. That's why we call it Free Talk Live, because you are free to call in and talk live. It's Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
And I almost don't think we can start the show by talking about anything but the fact that there's these amazing riots, unprecedented protests, and I'm not sure what term I'm supposed to use. I was told at one point that protests are done by white people and riots are done by black people, meaning that the suggestion is that somehow white people always paint the protests of black people as riots. But I don't know. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of buildings on fire all across the United States.
I think intentional violence makes it a riot. I don't care. I don't have a problem with violence or violent protests or riots as long as you're not the aggressor, which is kind of the rule for violence in general. So that just because it's a riot or just because it's a violent protest doesn't make it wrong.
Well, I don't know how. A riot to me is something like a nuclear weapon. You cannot employ it in a defensive fashion.
Maybe we just don't have a agreed upon definition of riots.
Okay. Well, I like the idea of rocks thrown, buildings on fire. You pick. I mean,
but you could do that at specific valid targets.
You could. But riots are rarely done. It's specifics, right? Specifics and riots don't go together. That's not the way mobs tend to work.
I'm willing to accept collateral damage at this point because they're targeting.
Because it's not you and your family.
Well, yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
But if it were, I'd probably defend myself, much like some of the store owners have defended themselves.
And to a certain extent, I'd be like, all right, so you set 3 cop cars on fire and burned the police station to the ground, and I have to replace a window. It's fine.
That's the collateral that I'm talking about. As long as they're targeting the government buildings, the police who caused the problem.
It depends on how much damage there. No, any collateral damage is the nice fancy word that the state gives for shooting things that aren't your targets through negligence. And so it's always by definition wrong. But how much I'm going to quote put up with kind of depends on the level of the damage.
Are y'all suggesting that there's going to be something akin to freedom or even a good thing that's going to result from what's occurring?
Yes.
Can you tell me what that looks like?
Okay, so, I mean, this is not the only factor that's going to go into this because this is not the only factor occurring. It's not happening in a vacuum.
I mean, one thing that concerns me is that this is the state's job, right? Like, violence control is their job. They're not good at much, and they certainly aren't efficient and from a monetary standpoint when it comes to this, but this is their thing.
But there's actually some evidence that the government is inefficient, and we kind of accept that they're efficient at killing people. There's actually some evidence that that's not true, and if you think about it, if you had the budget of the U.S. government, and they were like, okay, kill as many people as possible, you could kill way more people. So I'm not sure the government is even efficient at violence. They can just do more of it because they have this obscene budget, and you're comparing that sometimes, I think, to what your organization has or what you have. But cops are in the job because it's a job. They're not in it for the cause. They're not trying to go down in a blaze of glory. They're trying to pay their mortgage and buy groceries like everybody else. They've just made the decision, I'm willing to be an evil human being in order to accomplish that.
Well, I think that I would disagree. I think that a lot of police officers got into it for the right reasons, and I would think that many of them think, well, whereas my team may have some problems, the other team is clearly the worst.
Okay.
But what order do you think that happens in? Do you think somebody goes, I want to dedicate myself to the cause of justice, therefore cop? Or do you think somebody goes, cop is the best job for me, therefore for ad hoc justice or something?
Okay, so I would say that there are a small handful of people that do the whole, I want to be a cop. I'm a vigilant protector of justice and these sorts of things. Like that's the person
beat up in high school and.
Well, I don't know. I think that I'm imagining the best. I think there are a lot of people that say, police officer, firefighter, bureaucrat. Well, police officers get 20 years in, and they sort of do the math in their head, and then they say, you know what? I'm a vigilant paladin of justice.
Exactly. But when they are going to have to actually face down a realistic chance of death, that's going to change. I have been present in conversations people had where they were like, well, I could work at Walmart, or I could work at McDonald's, or I could work at the gas station, but I'm not going to work at the gas station because they get robbed. Okay. That is an entirely logical conclusion to come to. And because that is actually a real risk of that job, if you make it the case that that's a real risk of being a cop, what do you think that's going to do to their ability to hire cops?
I don't think that police officers currently are in much danger.
Right. But if we change that, then people will think twice about applying for the job of cop.
My complaint, believe me, I am not doing backflips over burning police stations here, but it looks like y'all with your big smiles on your faces are. Well, hold on. What my thought process on all of this is, what are we paying taxes for again? I mean, I'm
paying taxes to not get shot in the face. I don't know why you're paying taxes.
Protection services from the police, Mark.
There's been a lot of money spent on these policing organizations, and they pull up right out of. You know what? I'm just guessing that Minneapolis Police Department that got set on fire. This is me guessing. Is that the taxpayers of Minneapolis are going to build a new police department?
When they start rebuilding it, burn it down again.
Fresh. That's not going to happen.
They could either spend that money on the building, or they could spend that money on more ammo to go shoot people in the park and do drive-bys on parks. Which would you, given that they're going to steal the same amount of money anyway?
No, they're going to raise taxes and do both.
Yeah, I'll give you 10-1, Richie. 10-1. That means you do 100, I'll do 1,000.
Understood. I get the odds.
That these shenanigans are over by next Friday.
No, I'm not going to take that bet.
No, you wouldn't, because this is not how this goes. So there's only one way to fund a riot, and that is stealing television sets out of Target. Soon the television sets will be gone.
The state is paying probably most of these people because the state forcibly laid off people that did not work for it for the past 2 months. So you can't even do the typical drive-by, be like, get a job out the window, because they might want to be at work. And they might be going
or they might not want to be at work, but either way, they're getting funded. Okay, granted, there's a special storm going on here, in so much as the government has both given free money to pre-rioters and then told them that wearing masks is legal.
So this is the opportunity.
and right? Quasi-mandated.
So here's my one takeaway from the riot. You ever look at the history books, like, the Revolutionary War, right? And you go like, the British, they showed up and then they lined up in straight lines and then they all got shot. And you go like, why would anybody fight a war like that? Why would you just line up in a straight line? And then I look at the cops at the riots and I go like, look at them. They're all lined up in a straight line. Someone just mow down that line, right? And then push forward.
Oh, but handful of people have been doing that over the past week.
I'm guessing you're not advocating this, that you're in fact just suggesting that one could do such a thing.
One could do such a thing.
Right.
And aim below the chest, because that's where all the plates are. Those plastic D-pads aren't going to do nothing.
Well, armor is weak where your joints have to move. You have to move your head, you have to move your elbows, and you have to move your knees.
Well, right. So aim below the chest. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So all the...
You want to see that whole line fall, aim low, watch it fall, push forward.
Nobody seems to have guns.
Right,
that's the problem. Right, because even the cops, they're standing there with batons. Right, they're not prepared to shoot yet.
This isn't even the race riot that it was supposed to be. This is Antifa in a lot of cases. This is a bunch of college-educated white kids that have nothing to do, who are busy being baristas.
After they burned the first police station to the ground, and the cops had to escape via helicopter off the roof.
That's where you want to loot.
They gave them what they wanted.
Loot the weapons locker.
It's the lesson I would like to have. But I don't know that that's historic because they actually charged the murderer with murder, which they were not going to do.
Oh, I see. The cop.
It was like third-degree murder plus manslaughter, which carries a penalty of probation at the low end.
Well, at the very low end, yes.
Well, what do you think the cop's going to get?
855-450-3733. What is the cop going to get? Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE, as in freedom.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. This COVID-19 thing has turned the world upside down. Regardless of what you believe about it, it has changed our lives. But what's not changed is that if you own a business, you need to advertise to reach new customers or clients. Our audience is not the kind to stick their heads in the sand during a crisis. They are fully engaged and more active than ever. Special advertising packages are available to you to help you not just recover, but thrive. Email my sales manager, Matthew at freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can call in and talk about whatever you want. We've been talking about the riots that are sweeping America. I don't know whether I'm supposed to use the term riot or not.
It's a riot.
I'm not sure what the media is using to describe this, but this looks like a series of riots. And frankly, I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime, and I've looked for sort of precedent. Because here's what I want to know. I want to know, what is this going to result in? I know what the Rodney King riots resulted in. And, you know, it's somewhat ethereal. I know what the Watts riots, and I mean, like, and we can look back on the other side, so Rosewood, and we can look at some of this stuff, and you can say, okay, well, what's going to happen? And you might make the claim that the Rodney King case resulted in sort of the turning point where police could do anything they wanted to, you know, today when a black man gets killed during an arrest and, you know, America blows up. So maybe it's the turn, and that turn took, what are we talking about? 30 years? 25 years? And maybe the turn's not done. I have no idea. But we can see something, and you can look at something.
Right.
I'm curious, what does it result in when you rise to the level of setting police stations on fire, taking state capitals, capital buildings?
It's got to be sustained.
Well, I think that there is some. It does have to be sustained.
Hold on, before we go any further, I want to talk about Divvy. One thing you want right now is you want decentralized monetary power, right? You don't want your money with the establishment, because the establishment is on fire.
It's insured.
So, well, some of it's insured. We don't know what's going to happen, right? Like, if you would have said January the 1st, this is going to be the year of murder hornets, the Black Plague, and the government's on fire, nobody would have said that this doesn't make any sense. And it just keeps getting worse. Like, I mean, for the average American, state capitals being broken into and cops stations on fire is a pretty bad thing. I'm trying to look at this from an arm's length. I don't think it's coming to Keene, New Hampshire. That's just me. Hold on.
Let him finish the ad.
Sorry. So Divvy is a great way for you to have some control over your money. And you go to divvyproject.org. That's DIVI, divvyproject.org. You can find out about the currency that's intended to be the easiest to transfer between cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and fiat right in your mobile app, so that you can go directly to your bank account, and there's no and pretty much everything you need. Like, they're working with Western Union and 200 countries. It's divvyproject.org. But not only that, the multi-tiered masternode system that they have allows you to begin earning now. So it's divvyproject.org. That's DIVI, divvyproject.org. Does anybody have anything to say before I go to hear Adam in Washington?
Let's see what he has to say.
All right. Adam, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, am I on?
You are on.
Hi. I just wanted to add to your talk about the racism and the riots and all that stuff. I'm just saying, it's just I just got out of prison. I'm a 4-time felon. Yada, yada, no big deal, but I don't advocate for the death of cops. I kind of see that doing that. That just kind of riles the rustler of a lot of people. I mean, I don't agree what happened to that black man, but to advocate for the death of police officers, that's really a bad thing, man, because if Antifa comes to my house, I will have to get a firearm and kill them.
Then you should. You know
okay, well, yeah, if Antifa attacks you, a private citizen, that's exactly what you should do.
And if it
I hate that organization. They're the worst. They are the worst than anything. You know what I'm just trying to say?
And if it weren't for the state and the police officers, you could have that firearm without being worried about getting in trouble as a 4-time felon. So they put you in a position where you can't protect yourself. I don't care if I go to prison again. I'm just saying.
Oh,
well, then do it.
If they want to have these protesters and rioters coming to my house, I will do whatever it takes to survive and protect my kids and my family.
Hold on. Before you go on, I want to tell Adam something. This is not legal advice. However, it is my understanding that the doctrine of the greater good would allow you to not own a weapon, but to protect yourself should the need arise. Now, I don't know where a gun comes from. In how it ends up in your hand.
Magic gun fairies. The criminal dropped it.
But if there is a gun lying around nearby, it is my understanding that you would be allowed to use that under the circumstances where you, your family,
about that
are
anyway.
the threat.
I just don't like all the race baiting. Like you guys, like everyone wants to make it like a race thing.
Wait a second, hold on.
Neither of
None of
us
us said anything
said
about
anything
race.
about race.
I don't think that we race baited here because I'm kind of the opinion that this has turned into something else.
I'm against the system as a whole. And if that's why Antifa wants to start killing cops, I'm not going to nitpick at their reasons. And it doesn't really matter if I like Antifa
not every
or
cop
not.
is bad. I mean, they've
Yeah, they
given
are.
me some breaks sometimes.
Yeah, my experience when I was in prison and meeting law enforcement, thank you for the time, Adam, was that, I think 25% of the people that worked at that job were really great folks. I think that 50% were just people doing a job. And I think another 25% were, sick people who got off on the power that they had.
Here's the intellectual answer to the good cop, bad cop thing from Robert Higgs, Dr. Robert Higgs. The good, bad cop question can be disposed of decisively. We need only consider the following. Number one, every cop has agreed as part of his job to enforce laws, all of them. Number two, many of the laws are manifestly unjust or even cruel and wicked. Number three, therefore, every cop has agreed to act as an enforcer of laws that are manifestly unjust or even cruel and wicked. There are no good cops.
Well, there
Dr.
you go.
Robert Higgs.
I believe that people that's right. There's objective morality, and then there's sort of popular morality.
Sure.
Right? And cops exist in a popular moral state as opposed to an objective moral state.
And the average opinion about morality is what has got us where we are.
I'm with you, but it's not like getting rid of cops will cause criminals to go away, and it won't stop crime.
It'll put the responsibility on the
so,
individual to take care of themselves.
I don't know if he said this publicly, but somebody I know was trying to convert someone at a festival somewhere, and the person's last objection to anarchy was, well, without the state, who's going to prosecute pedophiles? And they asked them, without the state, who's going to stop you from handling yourself? And the guy stood there for a second, and he was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
So that's how you deal with criminals.
Terrible answer, and it's because the history of our criminal justice system is based on essentially protecting people from mobs.
The preface of our criminal justice, but that's not what we do. I mean, I think the guy should be convicted of murder if that's the system we're going to have.
If somebody says you're a pedophile,
the mob said, I'm going to burn down this building unless you arrest this guy, and they arrested him.
We're moving all over. The goalposts have not just moved; they skyrocketed here. I work with a guy who has been accused of pedophilia, to the point that somebody put up his picture and the word pedophile on a piece of paper and put it around town. Now, this is, from what I can tell, a patently false statement. In the absence of a criminal justice system, I suspect some people would have taken up arms against this guy because a lot of people dislike him.
And he should have taken up arms to defend himself, even to the point
I'm not looking for armed pedophiles running around in a gang to defend themselves. This is why you need some system.
The state doesn't solve that problem because the state is not a fact finder.
Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com. Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. Talking about this, well, what else? Buildings are on fire across America. It's Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
Want to tell you about Intercoin. Today, large corporations act as middlemen for our everyday online communications and transactions. Often they work hand in hand with governments. In the last few years, these centralized social networks have all launched payment networks. Bitcoin and Ethereum have not been scalable enough to compete. The team behind Intercoin, however, has spent the last decade creating an open, web-based, decentralized social platform to rival Facebook and Google, and now they can use it to roll out a revolutionary payment platform on top. If a decentralized crypto doesn't soon gain mainstream adoption to power everyday payments, it'll be Facebook and WeChat's world, and we'll just live in it. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our freedoms that are threatened on the internet and in meat space. We think that this is important here on Free Talk Live, and so important that FTL has accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Incorporated for advertising. And if you think freedom is important too, check out Intercoin. It's spelled with an I, I-N-T-E-R, intercoin.org, and you can invest in this project and potentially make big gains or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. It's intercoin.org. So let's go to the phones, guys, before we jump right back into riots and how bad cops are or whatever it is.
Oh, you say that like you're defending them all of a sudden, Mark.
Robert in South Carolina, you're on Free Talk Live.
Oh, he will.
Yes, sir. I studied law under Professor Dr. Strafrecht, that means criminal law, under Professor Dr. Knut Amelung in the Technische Universität Dresden, and he said that the way laws come about, what they reflect is they reflect the sittenden Gebräuche is what he said. That means basically, in English, that would mean...
Let's stick with the English because the going back and forth between German and English is going to be difficult for the audience. Go, please.
Okay. He said that you were wondering if laws have an evil aspect. Well,
I wasn't wondering. We know it.
Okay. Well, Professor Amelung was of the opinion he was more than an opinion. He knew that the laws actually come from the cultural the way the culture of the particular society is set up. That's what he meant.
That's largely true. Laws that are openly enforced, that is true of. There are some laws that are less openly enforced.
Like what?
Like charging prostitutes for failure to register as a sex offender from 30 years ago, like charging people for having, weed residue on the bottom of their shoe,
so
for
sort of
like charging old
bureaucracy.
ladies for having the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday pill organizers for heart meds and charging them with, schedules 1 through 4 and misbranding.
All right.
Well, that was true. That was true in Germany, too. When I got there, we had laws against homosexuality, but then I brought it to Professor Dr. Knut Amelung's attention, and he changed the law so that boys could have sex with other men, or men could have sex with other men beginning at 18, and girls could have sex with...
This professor changed the law?
Wow.
Yeah, he was
Well,
amazing.
there's
Hold
stuff
on.
there again. There's stuff that isn't, kind of openly.
Robert?
I'm sorry. So anyhow, and girls and boys could give their permission to have sex with someone 16 years or older. 16 years or older, beginning when they were 16.
And the first floor of the law school that I went to, there was an organization of professors that wrote what are called comments to the code articles, which the legislature neither orders nor approves, and that are taken as law by judges, and that they're the, quote, proper interpretation of the code articles. So yeah, weird stuff happens, and I think that most people would not approve of that, but they do the things that people approve of in the open, and the things that people don't approve of in the basement of law school.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for the call, Robert. Appreciate it.
But yeah, it's not that out of line that, it's out of line, but it's not that surprising to me that professors are writing laws.
Well, it's fascinating to me. I certainly hadn't heard that at all.
Not just writing the law, changed it, got it repealed or whatever.
Oh, there's some comments that say the opposite of what, the code article obviously says.
So I guess, when I think about culture, basically Robert's thesis is that it's okay, it seems, what his thesis is that it's okay that some laws are unjust by our standards because they are just by the culture standards, whatever that culture may be. So
we must protect the individual and his rights to do as he pleases so long as he doesn't infringe on the rights of others.
And I like that, right? That sounds like a very American thing to say, doesn't it?
It does.
It's a remarkably American thing. The idea is that we would write laws that protect the individual, protect the rights of the individual, but then you have, some of the craziest stuff out there. The vice laws certainly come to mind. And don't forget, most people who are in prison are not in for violent crimes.
It's like 90+% is drug possession.
I don't think in prison. I think that's arrests. And it's old numbers before marijuana was illegal. But I'm not saying that
marijuana is still not legal, so. At
the federal level.
And in most states.
Yeah. But you don't see as much marijuana arrests as you did back in the day.
Not in New Hampshire, but in a lot of places that industry is alive and well.
I wouldn't want to be in Oklahoma dealing with this particular problem. I'm just saying, hey, look at Denver, look at California, look at these places.
And people who are doing 30 to life that got convicted 10 years ago, they're still in jail.
And yeah, it's true. And I think that they probably should go back and find these nonviolent drug offenders and get them out of prison. I don't see any reason to send nonviolent drug offenders to prison. While Eckerd Drugs can do business as a drug dealer it's fine. The guy goes out and sells some drugs to his friends. It's a problem.
And it's usually not sale, by the way. What most people are not aware of is its distribution. So if you're standing in a circle and you pass a joint to the person next to you that you just got passed from you to the person on the other side, that is distribution.
I suspect it is, but it's unlikely that you'd be convicted of it, right?
Maybe in Keene, New Hampshire.
All right, let's go to the phones. We've got Vernon calling in from, I believe, Louisiana. Vernon, you're on Free Talk Live.
So last night, great show, by the way. You had a lot of great callers. But one of the messages, and I think I may have misunderstood, which is why I wanted clarification. And I understand you can't speak on behalf of Ian or anything, but it sounded to me like if you're on if the police...
Hold on, Vernon. I'm sorry. You're breaking up there.
I'll call y'all back when I'm in a better area. Sorry.
Well, no problem. And, there's dispensation for the second call in an evening, and I think that would be qualify as it. Sometimes if there's technical difficulties, we'll let a second call occur. So there you go.
It's all arbitrary anyway. You can take as many calls from the same person as you want. You just choose not to as a rule of the show.
Right. I mean, arbitrary isn't and a rule aren't the same thing. Arbitrary suggests there is no rule.
Like never, just because there's reasons to break it doesn't mean it's arbitrary. Arbitrary would be like everybody has to wear a green T-shirt tonight.
And, yes, it's our show. We set up rules, and the idea is that we set up the rules is to make the show the best it could be.
Understood.
There was once upon a time that we would do ladies first. Female callers would get to go to the head of the line, and at some point or another, it just didn't make sense anymore. Like, we're going to do a show about equality and freedom and then let one group go ahead of another group, and it just wasn't the same. It's hard to get women to call talk radio, mind you.
Well, then that's the incentive. You put them in the front of the line.
I'm not saying that we couldn't reinstitute the rule. I'm just saying I'm not gonna.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, please don't.
Was the rule ever stricken from the books, or did it just fall by the way?
We have no books.
Okay.
We have so few rules that we can memorize them.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you're not the state, you don't need 3 floors of detailed rules.
Well, I'm just saying, if the rule was never
if the
stricken
rules
from the
don't
books,
work, then we have arbitrary diktats that we just roll out. So, anyway, I hope. You know what, Melanie? I asked you a question, and that was, what do you foresee that is positive out of this whole rioting thing here? And I don't really think.
I think that it is very telling that when the rioters were lighting the police station on fire, the cops did not fight them. The cops did not call for backup. The cops did not bring in reinforcements.
Maybe they just wanted a new cop shop.
I'm gonna GTFO. Give me a helicopter. I'm climbing out of this roof. That is telling of the fact that they are unwilling to do the job when the job gets dangerous. So if we make the job dangerous enough, they'll quit doing it.
It may also be a strategic retreat, which is why it has to be sustained.
And you're not willing to bet on sustained, right?
I'm not willing to bet on it, but I will advocate for it.
855-450-3733. I won't. 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
So you're wearing a mask every day now?
Yeah.
Where are you getting them?
Same website where I get my neck and body wraps, sunnybay.com.
Really?
And they're handmade, just like their wraps in the USA.
Oh, and good quality?
Oh, very good. These are disposable face masks. And they make cloth face masks, too.
Good price?
That's the best part. 10 masks for only $6.
Wow.
As a public service, sunnybay.com is now making cloth face masks by hand in the Seattle area and sourcing disposable face masks with level 1 protection at sunnybay.com. Get a 10-pack of high-quality disposable face masks for only $6 or choose a handmade, washable, reusable cloth face mask with high 2 layers of quality cotton fabrics. Supplies are limited. Get details and order at sunnybay.com, a Biomed DB design company. Go to sunny-bay.com for disposable or cloth face masks. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Join the AMP program like Nathan Benson did. You go to amp.freetalklive.com, and that's all you have to do to get started. Free Talk Live does some unique things for you, the listener, which is, A, we offer freedom of speech. I mean, seriously, where are you going to go to get on 200 radio stations across the United States? And do it as quickly as you can on Free Talk Live. Sure, maybe you can wait on one of the bigger shows. I mean, we're rated the number 26 talk show in the nation. So, 1 through 10 or something, and maybe you'll get on. I don't like your chances, but it's possible. Whereas I like your chances of getting on Free Talk Live. And we make that possible, and we make it very easy. So go to amp.freetalklive.com if you support our mission.
With limited screening as well.
That's correct. amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to Jerome calling in from South Carolina. Jerome, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, I'm just glad that y'all let me talk to you.
You're welcome.
I'm banned from the local station.
Okay.
There's a guy here in town. He's afraid to talk to me. He's afraid of me because we got into it over Michael Slager killing Walter Scott, shooting him in the back. And he said that if he was on the jury, he would have acquitted him. So
is this the cop that shot the black guy that was running away in the back or something?
Yeah, and then tried to plant the evidence, some kind of evidence on him.
That seems like an odd thing to say, but I don't know why he would say that.
Yeah, but he said it, and he won't own it. Okay, he's been running away from that comment for years now.
Well,
but the thing I wanted to mention was
it's live radio.
Trump saying that he could stand on the street corner in New York and shoot someone. I assume it would be New York since that's where he's from. And he wouldn't lose any support. Why is it I'm the only person from coast to coast that seems to be bothered by a comment like that and could never vote for someone.
I am bothered by that, Jerome, and I'm as bothered by that as the statement of like people who go on Twitter and say that they could have been raped by Joe Biden, they'd still vote for him.
Terrible.
Like, it's that kind of crappy attitude that gets us the crappy results that we have. You know, I mean, that's just it. The system is designed that we're only going to get two choices. Now, there is a third choice. Go ahead.
What? I've never heard Biden come out and say anything close to something like that.
Okay.
And there are
no, Biden hasn't, but his supporters have.
Not the same.
It's not the same, but I'm not going to vote for Biden either. I mean,
I can't understand what Biden said.
I'm not voting for crooked old perverts this go around, Jerome. That's really my thing. Thank you, though. Appreciate the call. 855-450-3733. All right, let's go to Vernon calling in from Louisiana. Vernon, you're on Free Talk Live. Whoops. I got to push that little button. Sorry.
So thanks for letting me call in again. So last night I got the impression that the message was that if you're not happy with the police, it's okay to go burn down the police station. So I wanted to turn it around. What if you have, and I'm sure you have your critics, and you have some very extreme critics. So let's just say those extreme critics, people that, you will not take calls from, come over and they're rioting outside of the Free Talk Live studios and they throw a Molotov cocktail into your studio. Like, is that the same kind of...
If we were aggressing against them, especially to the level that the police do, that would absolutely be okay, but we are not.
I am not backing... Everybody here is speaking for themselves, okay?
Right, but you could take it...
Well, hold on. Before you rebut that, let me give my answer. Wait, before you rebut that, Vernon, allow me to give my answer. My answer is, my problem with the police, if they're, my problem with the police is about funding.
That's it.
Not about their job. And about the qualified immunity, right? So they certainly can do
pretty big things.
Those are big things, right?
Big things.
They can do some irresponsible acts and not have to take responsibility for their actions.
Financial or otherwise.
I don't get to do that here on Free Talk Live.
Big difference.
And number two is that their paychecks are paid for by the government, no matter what they do. I am never going to get that option. So those are my issues with the police.
So let me ask you this. So if there was rioting outside the Free Talk Live studios, would you all call the police to come and assist you all?
I don't know that the police would come and assist us.
Well, this is a pretty old...
I'd probably just deal with it myself.
Okay, well, you may do that, but I'm going to just go ahead and defend the notion of calling the police. You cannot rob me at the threat of stealing my home from me and putting me and my wife and my child out on the street to pay for an organization, and then when I call to use that organization, because that organization now has a competitive advantage that makes every other organization like that organization completely unviable, and then say, ha 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 ha, you love the police, actually. No, I was robbed to pay for the police, and... from a
Aren't
funding
you also in a situation right now where you have called the police?
Yeah.
And they have done nothing for you?
Right. I've called the police on a guy who's threatened to kill me, and the cops won't do anything about it.
The funding to me is largely irrelevant. Like, taxation is its own issue. I don't spend a lot of time complaining about mailmen and librarians because I really just... Taxation is its own issue and it needs to be dealt with, but I just really don't care. And I don't know that it's that big of a problem philosophically anyway. The problem with the police is that their job is to commit aggression. So if there is a private organization, then what do you mean, how so? They go around...
You can't just make a statement on national radio when people are tuning in and tuning out and not back it up.
There are laws that do not require a victim, and the police are like, yes, sign me up to enforce all of those laws, and they will arrest you, handcuff you, capture you, and throw you in a cage, and then stand in the halls of the cage and keep you from leaving for things that are none of their business and oftentimes planted evidence, but I guess that's not technically their job. It's just the thing they often do. Like, that's the problem. If there was a private organization that did that, I would have equally as much problem with it.
Vernon?
You make some very good points. One other thing I wanted to point out, in the late 1800s, right around May 31st, June 1st in Tulsa, there were these riots where a bunch of white people supposedly were mad at a bunch of black people, and they did a lot of mass arrests and everything. So I just think it's ironic
They also, and more importantly, they destroyed what consisted of black business in Tulsa at the time. And this is why it's so difficult.
Interesting that now it's reversed.
Well, I don't know whether I agree with. Look, you know what, Vernon? If what you're suggesting is that a race war would turn out well for black people in America, I would rebut that statement.
Good point. All right, thank you all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's go to Joe in Indiana. Joe, you're on Free Talk Live, sir. I presume it's a sir.
How are you?
All's well.
Hey, so just out of curiosity, I mean, earlier, about maybe roughly a half hour ago, I don't know what it was, basically you were saying, you were talking about the cops lining up in a straight line.
Richie, that's you.
That is me. Have you seen it?
Huh?
They do it. They line right up in a straight line.
Can I finish or not?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure that you understand that one person said this, not three. You said you.
I understand. No, I understand.
Go right ahead.
And then you said, just go ahead and shoot below the chest.
Yep, because that's where the chest plating is.
What are you advocating? Are you advocating shoot cops?
Absolutely.
Why?
You are. You're advocating shoot police.
They're out there. They've already aggressed on people. They're lining up. If you're going to take a shot, this is the opportunity.
Holy moly. You guys should be shut down.
Well, Free Talk Live is a show where we offer, like you, Joe, like you get to call in and say what you want to say.
I used to be a police officer.
I'm a firefighter. What do you want? A medal?
No. What I'm telling you is I realized I became out of control and I quit.
Good.
It was
if you were out of control and you harm somebody, would it be okay for a person to use deadly force to protect themselves? Good.
I didn't harm anybody, but I realized I didn't want to, I just didn't like dealing with the public I had to deal with. So my point is,
I wouldn't either. It'd be a miserable job.
But if you feel that way about the cops, how do you feel about the National Guard who are being called out? Do you feel the same way?
Absolutely.
If they're doing the same job, I mean, I don't know why they should be treated differently.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't agree with this.
Advocating shooting them.
Say that again?
I said your show is advocating.
No, it is not. Free Talk Live is a show, and there are people on it, just like you, Joe. You're on the show right now. Are you advocating shooting cops?
Absolutely not.
Then don't try to paint this show as doing that.
Mark was more worried about using the correct pronouns for the riot. It was more me and Rich who were
right. And what I thought Richie was saying was something to the effect of, if one were to go after police, that this is a strategically bad way to line up, and because they could be shot. Yeah. However,
no, but he said
that's what he said.
That's what I said.
What do you want me to do? You want me to fire him? He doesn't get paid. Yeah. Thanks for the call, Joe. Call in sometime. I'd love to hear it. Free Talk Live.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealestate.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,735, silver at $18.34, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,422. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, millions of Americans feel like the country is drifting precariously close to the point where social cohesion unravels. What's the Minneapolis Police Department solution? Arrest a team of journalists live on air. The same police department that hired the officer who cruelly and arbitrarily murdered George Floyd has responded to the intensifying media coverage of the riots that are now beginning to spread across the U.S. with what some might describe as Stalinist tactics. The Free Thought Project reports CNN tweeted a photo of reporter Omar Jimenez being taken into custody in the middle of the live report.
I'm sorry?
You're under arrest.
Okay. Do you mind telling me
whoa.
why I'm under arrest, sir? Why am I under arrest, sir?
Officer's with CNN and he's on the air right now.
The video was captured by the crew while they were being arrested. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz told CNN Worldwide President Jeff Zucker he deeply apologizes for what happened. The crew has since been released from custody. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. In a tweet around midnight Friday morning, President Donald Trump took to his Twitter account and threatened to begin extrajudiciously executing protesters suspected of looting in Minneapolis. The Free Thought Project says it's an unprecedented move by a president and speaks to the nature of the current situation in the United States. Stealing a TV from Target does not warrant a death sentence, especially without due process. After Trump made the threat, Twitter hid the tweet behind a warning on Friday, accusing Trump of breaking its rules by glorifying violence. However, it's so much more than glorifying violence. It's advocating for the extrajudicial slaughter of hundreds of people over property damage. Trump, in his tweet, said, quote, "These thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty and we will assume control. But when the looting starts, the shooting starts." End quote. A bizarre twist in the murder of George Floyd was reported on Thursday night, as a former club owner in South Minneapolis revealed that Floyd worked at her club as a security guard, alongside recently fired police officer Derek Chauvin, the man who killed Floyd. Club owner Maya Santamaria says that the two both worked the same security shift at El Nuevo Rodeo Club on Lake Street before the business was sold a few months ago. The Mind Unleashed reports that Santamaria said she can't be certain that Chauvin and Floyd knew each other, because often over a dozen security guards working at the club on any given night might not have any contact with each other. Still, they did work overlapping shifts, and the fact that one man ended up killing the other should justify further investigation into whether or not the two had a prior relationship. That could potentially mean there was a deeper motive behind the murder. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This week, badly shaken researchers reported observing an osprey stalking, killing, and devouring an adult male lion in what is being called a massive food chain shakeup. Confirmation of the 3-pound marine bird consuming the 400-pound feline has biologists scrambling to determine the new predator-prey connections between the planet's billions of organisms.
We seem to be experiencing some sort of cross-species dietary free-for-all.
Scientists say that the killing of the healthy, full-grown lion by a typical osprey specimen has lent credibility to recent reports of a deer seen grazing on a nest of squirrels in Wisconsin, as well as a claim made by a group of Japanese fishermen who say they witnessed 300 million krill devouring a 40-ton humpback whale. In other news, NASA acquires the moon for an upcoming Kennedy Space Center exhibit. A radio DJ invites the whole town to some bullshit, and assuming the many universes theory of quantum mechanics is accurate, the review you've just seen will remain relevant in another reality for all eternity. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
Free Talk Live.
Kicking off the second hour of Free Talk Live. This live edition. It's live if it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's true nearly every day of the year here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
The number's 855-450-3733. Let's get right into the calls. We've got Phil in California. Lots of calls. Phil, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, how you guys doing?
All's well.
I called last week from Utah, but I'm here in California. I just got here last night, and I just wanted to share the funniest thing I've ever seen, but also it looked to be very uncomfortable for the gentleman who was on the receiving end of it.
Okay.
I was driving through a town called Sausalito, just north of San Francisco, very wealthy area. There was a large group of, I would have to say 100% like rich white people just protesting, saying blah, blah, blah. And then this guy, probably pretty wealthy guy, black guy, pulls up probably to go get some dinner. And they're all yelling at him, we're sorry. It's not us. We care about you. And I'm I've never seen anything like that in my life. I don't even know how to react. And
yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's white guilt.
It's really patronizing too. Like, he doesn't know these people. He probably doesn't want anything to do with these people. Like, that's just annoying. Don't annoy random black passerbys.
And apologize to them.
He looked confused, and he kind of had that look on his face like, who the hell are these people?
Take it easy, hunky.
I had an idea. My girlfriend happens to be black, so we're going to go down there and ask for reparations.
Nice.
It's an excellent idea.
Get it on video.
That's funny.
She's trying, but she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to like embarrass herself. But I'm trying to convince her to do it because I think it would be the funniest thing ever.
Oh no, it'd be funny. It's like, oh, okay, because you're here to put on a show. Like, all right, well, do what you say you're really here to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking about something on, somebody made some accusation about Free Talk Live being all white. And I don't know about you people, but you people are looking pretty white to me
I'd
today.
be classified as white depending on how many other white people are around.
Mostly Portuguese. Yeah, I agree with you. You're sort of it's borderline.
But, right. But I'm also, you got to remember, I'm also from Hawaii. So I'm pretty white.
I've never done 23andMe, but I feel like I'm white. I mean.
Thanks for the call, Phil. Appreciate it. On Friday night, it's actually an all-black show on Free Talk Live. I didn't think about it until sort of someone leveled an accusation at me. But
So we don't do exclusion, we do segregation.
well, that's where they ended up. So whatever. They're welcome to come to New Hampshire and do the show, or I'll go do the show with them. I was doing so the Alex there for a while. Anyway, the 855-450-3733. Let's go to Laszlo calling in from the United States. Laszlo, you're on Free Talk Live. Check.
Hello,
Laszlo. What's on your mind?
Here we go. By the way, Mark, I had the actual inverse experience.
Which experience are we referring to?
School education.
Okay.
Kind of thing. I went to public school. From first grade through eighth grade. Kindergarten through eighth.
Yeah, this sounds like the mirror of my situation, because I went to private school from kindergarten through eighth grade.
Right. And then I got accepted to a preparatory school in ninth grade.
Okay.
And guess what happened?
You did well and your grades went up because it's a preparatory school?
I was going to say the opposite.
No.
He didn't do well because he wasn't prepared
they
for
taught
it.
a lot better, but I was, confined to a lot of guys. You understand?
No. I either you were unhappy that it was not co-ed, or you converted to homosexuality.
I didn't convert.
Okay. So you found it frustrating that it was not co-ed.
Exactly. Yeah. But
I didn't go to an all-boys school.
I did. In 10th grade, I went back to public school because I quit. I was like,
not doing this.
They were like, you better get out or we'll kick you out. And I left. And I went back to public school. And I did like 2 classes, like in the 10th year. 10th grade.
I can't believe you could even do that few, but all right.
Yeah, I cut every class. I was smoking pot. I was, Anyway, to move on, Ian is a horrible host. I called last night. Anyway.
That's kind of a non sequitur.
You know he's listening, right?
I'd say he's our best, honestly.
I'm very non sequitur. Melanie.
Yes.
I have an answer for you. You asked about when I suggested the canal, the 20-mile wide, 200 feet deep, 4,000 miles of seacoast between America and Mexico.
Okay, what's the answer?
And the answer is everybody can have their little island. They can have their little island, right?
I don't know that dirt would just build up and kind of float like that. Islands are rock.
Yeah. I think that might be difficult. I think you might be able to build
a seastead
if you could do. Thank you for the call, Laszlo. If you could actually make a 20-mile wide canal that ran from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean all along the U.S.-Mexican border in order to solve the immigration crisis. I mean, I don't think this is really the problem that's going on here. People are sneaking across the border in order to wash our clothes and mow our grass. I mean, I don't see the real catastrophe that's going on, but whatever. The real question is, what do you do with all the dirt? Because there's a lot of it when you dig a canal that way.
Build a wall on either side of dirt and clay and mud.
Yeah.
So you have a moat going through instead.
I'd say this, if I had to defend it, and I'm not defending this, is that something like 98% of the ocean is largely unoccupied. And it's just, like reefs, that's where the life is. And you could probably just find places to dump this stuff. I don't know what's going on in the Marianas Trench. None of us do. But you can find some places to dump it and then dump. But it's going to be higher than Everest.
I'd be worried about the ecological consequences of that, because that's a lot of dirt.
That's all I had. That's the only defense I could come up with.
Find the deepest part and then just sink it all the way down to the bottom and raise that up a few hundred.
It's not that tall.
Brad calling in from Ontario. Brad, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi there.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey guys, big shout out to you. I called in maybe 6 months ago. I talked to Ian about teacher strikes in Ontario, and it was before all this COVID.
Sure. I bet this took care of it.
And they were, all of them in Ontario. Like, we have a problem with public sector workers going on strike.
Sure.
Here in Ontario, and it was really at the height in March, early March, and then it just disappeared because they're getting all paid, full pension, full wages, very good wages, who are on strike refusing to work in the first place,
right?
Government workers, and then it just disappeared. All like Twitter feeds, Facebook, it just disappeared.
And just like that,
they're not
strike was over
anymore because they're sitting at home. But what I do also
weren't they sitting at home during the strike anyway?
Those are the ones that are saying don't go back to work, obviously, because they're sitting at home getting paid like they normally do for doing nothing.
Yeah, I think that this is sort of a truism among Americans too, is that everybody seems to know somebody who's making more money sitting on their butt than working. And besides that, like, think about this for a second. If you could get paid 80% of your paycheck and not have to do anything, like zero work, 0% of the work, 80% of the pay.
That might be a pay raise, because if you have to buy work clothes, gasoline, maintenance on the car, you don't need a car anymore.
Lunch?
That might be a raise.
Well, not just that. It makes it going back to work.
What I'm trying to suggest is it's the unioners that are the ones that like to dog fuck.
Whoa. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
If you're attacked by a bear, a dog will throw himself into the mouth of the bear to save you. Dogs are dogs. They pour out their love onto you. Before long, you can't live without them. I have a chocolate cocker spaniel named Lady and a blackmouth cur. He's about 120 pounds, and his name is Arlo. My little cocker, her coat's as soft as a stuffed animal. They're both real soft coats, and my dogs don't have any health problems because they're eating what they need to eat.
DINOVITE.com.
Dynavite is like pouring a multivitamin right onto their food.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
We'll be scooping our Dynavite onto the food, then squirting the liquor chops and the fish oil. They start salivating.
Dynavite is nutrition.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
It's a lot of responsibility owning a dog. I get my Dynavite at DINOVITE.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. aghasthosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Aghast Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Aghast Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with aghasthosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Aghast Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to aghasthosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's aghasthosting.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. Seems like everybody's been talking about riots here on Free Talk Live. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. It's Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
This COVID-19 thing's turned the world upside down, and regardless of what you believe about it, it has changed our lives. But what's not changed is that if you own a business, you need to advertise to reach new customers or clients. Our audience are not the kind that just stick their heads in the sand during a crisis. They are fully engaged and more active than ever. Special advertising packages are available to you to help not just recover, but thrive. Email my sales manager, Matthew, at freetalklive.com. That's Matthew at freetalklive.com if you want to talk about some, frankly, money-saving packages that'll help you reach a national audience. Let's go to JT calling in from Pennsylvania. JT, you're on Free Talk Live.
Oh, great. Thank you for taking my call. It's about the use of the emergency alert system.
That where they go beep, beep, or whatever that noise is?
Yes, that is exactly right.
Okay. Or when they send a missile alert to your cell phone?
I'm like, this ought to be good. And, of course, it was. I'm calling from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the very, very western tip on the northern tier border town. And they're calling and saying that they are putting in a curfew in Philadelphia 600 miles away from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Useful information for somebody in Erie, right?
Talking about tyrannic.
I'm not in Erie. I'm an hour away from.
Even farther.
I'm in the Allegheny National Forest.
Gotcha.
But my point is is that supposed to help me, or
it's for your own safety and protection?
I mean,
you don't want to be out and about when people are rioting and burning stuff down. So, for your safety and protection.
They're only 8.5 hours away by car.
Yep.
So
and good thing the curfew's in place. Otherwise, they'd be migrating your way, burning down your place too.
he's just messing with you, JT.
No, because there are people that will make that argument.
Yes, and I'm really on that side, but so you're kind of not messing with me. But I guess my point is that why infuriate me when I'm trying to do something and you go on the emergency alert system and tell me about a city that I
think
have
that they're
absolutely
trying to terrorize you.
When you say emergency alert system, are you talking about that on the phone where they send you a message?
No, I'm talking about the radio.
The radio.
I'm a radio head.
Well, I mean,
super radio head.
Yeah, but I mean, the emergency alert system's always been about things that don't affect me. That's been my experience.
Station
not storms and thunderstorms.
When I've dealt with the storms and thunderstorm stuff on the radio, usually it has to do with someplace that's far away. Hours from me, and it just doesn't.
True.
It's probably some legal thing where they have to, if they're going to institute a curfew, they have to do it on public airwaves.
JT, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Well, let's go to Carlos calling in from Minnesota. He might know a little something. Carlos, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how's it going?
All's well. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to speak towards you guys and all your listeners. I'm just wondering what good has the quarantine and the furloughing most of the country, like what good has that done for us?
It stopped the spread of the virus. It has flattened the curve, so hospitals can accommodate people who do get sick.
You mean the hospitals that are like laying off,
because the curve has been flattened. Thank you, curfew and quarantine.
Where's the proof for that?
Well, I don't have any. I'm just being facetious again.
I know, but I'm asking everybody.
As far as the lockdown goes, I would say that we cannot say what life would have been like. There's certainly been life lost as a result of the COVID-19 thing. Most of it appears to be, like the vast majority of it, appears to be from people who are 70 and older that were probably not doing so great.
Well, and it's 70 plus with underlying health conditions.
Yeah.
You don't think all those people would have died if we didn't?
I think all the people are going to die.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you give them just one more year, right? How can you deny them that one more year of their life?
In a nursing home?
Hey, whatever, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like we're trying to save really old people.
Right. I think that it was a terrible plan. To my mind, if the concern is old people might get sick, then old people should stay home, and we should all adopt an old person and drop their stuff they need on their doorstep
most of
or
them
whatever.
Don't have jobs anyway. They're retired, so we could continue working, and then they would still have places to buy groceries.
My 79-year-old mother's like, screw it, though. I'm going out.
When they first started the lockdown, what I said is it's going to be very insidious because no matter how it turns out, the
government
they're going to take
locked
credit
us
for it.
down.
Well, not just that, but they're going to take credit for it. So if the lockdown leads to flattening of the curve and no old people getting sick, they will say that without us, those people would have died.
Sure.
Right. And if it got worse because of the lockdown and everyone got sick and the virus spread anyway, they would have said, well, we minimized it so it's not as bad as it could have been.
Right.
Like
they're always going to take some level of credit for it.
Right. And so no matter what happens, they're going to take credit, and the vast majority of people will buy into that.
And what my concern is that, look, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a new virus next year, and there will be a pandemic at some point in the future, a real one, not this sort of pretend pandemic.
Also, how many lives has it ruined just by furloughing so many people?
Well, don't forget that
they don't count those because they can't. There's no death rate on that.
Yeah.
Well, there is. There's not necessarily a measurable death rate. Well, I mean, and so it's really weird, as many people have pointed out, it's really weird to have to sit here and explain to leftists, who are the ones advocating for the lockdown, that poverty has negative consequences and can kill you.
Well, they believe that a check from the government is an economy, but I think that what's interesting is nobody says anything. I'm sure they'll say something about suicide or whatever, but how about these lockdowns are saying you must stay in the house with your abusive spouse?
Yep.
How many?
Or your abusive parents who you didn't pick.
Or whatever the case is. How many young people or women or perhaps men have perished because daddy, mommy, whomever has not only been stuck in the same house with them, but everybody's drinking. Like alcohol is going around. Alcohol, domestic abuse, these things tend not to go well. Now, I've looked at the excess death numbers, the number of deaths that have gone on in the United States since this COVID thing started, and the presumption is that COVID is the thing that's killing everybody. And I don't know, I don't have any evidence that this isn't true, but they don't say anything about suicides and all this other stuff. I hear suicides are up. So it's my biggest fear is now the government has successfully locked us down. And are we going to do it again next year? Are we going to do it every year? Every flu season from here on out? Because it could be deadly.
Are we going to condemn protests and riots to try to get some of those liberties back?
Weak people might die. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
This COVID-19 thing has turned the world upside down. Regardless of what you believe about it, it has changed our lives. But what's not changed is that if you own a business, you need to advertise to reach new customers or clients. Our audience is not the kind to stick their heads in the sand during a crisis. They are fully engaged and more active than ever. Special advertising packages are available to you to help you not just recover, but thrive. Email my sales manager, Matthew at freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Here is the Onion Week in Review Transportation Edition. In Albany, a Greyhound bus crash claimed 30 miserable lives Tuesday, finally putting over 24 deadbeat fathers, penniless drug addicts, and hapless bastards out of their misery. Emergency crews at the scene of the merciful accident described the sea of fast food bags, candy bar wrappers, and losing lottery tickets surrounding the crash site as utterly tragic, adding that the scorched corpses inside the bus were, quote, only slightly more lifeless than before the deadly accident.
Evidence suggests that most of the victims suffered during the crash, and for many years before they even boarded the bus. All I can say is, thank God no one made it.
Al-Qaeda is refusing to carry out any further terrorist attacks until the U.S. mass transportation infrastructure is drastically improved, calling the country's roads and bridges a, quote, travesty, unbecoming of a developed first world nation.
We want to turn your bridges into rubble. But if we took credit for making them collapse, no one would ever believe us.
This is the Onion News Network.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And let's go right to the phone lines. Let's go to Gene, the Christian anarchist, calling in on the Discord lines. Gene, you're on Free Talk Live.
I'm watching a zombie movie.
Okay. Is
that on CNN?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I just, it's amazing how we fall for the same tricks for thousands of years. This divide and conquer nonsense, where people want to be in this group or that group or the other group, and they want to say that the other group is their enemy, and it works every time. I don't know when we're going to get wise enough to stop falling for this. Today we have the internet. We have all this research available to us. And yet people are falling for the same stupid tricks that we fell for 4,000 years ago.
Is the group that's aggressing against you and your neighbors and, forcibly taking your taxes, are they not your enemy?
Yeah, of course they are.
Okay. Just checking.
Anybody taking my stuff is my enemy. Anybody who's harming me or my family is my enemy. Now, that could be looters, or it could be the goons in blue.
So aren't you victim to that same us versus them mentality as well?
Well, I'm a victim. I'm not falling for the tricks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a victim of violence. I'm a victim of theft. And so are we all in one way or another. But the thing that I'm getting at is why we keep falling for the same divide and conquer tactics. I don't hate these looters. They're pretty darn stupid, some of them. I mean, that basically you see all these people rushing in and out of stores, grabbing a handful of shoes. How do they really need the shoes that bad? Is it that important for them to have a pair of shoes?
Maybe they're
probably okay, so most of the people were not looting. Most of the people were burning down the police station.
Well, I don't know. I haven't watched that.
I've seen one. I've seen one police station burned down. Where are the rest?
There were a couple of police stations that were attacked.
I don't know if they were burned, but they were attacked.
I don't.
I saw a lot of
but
cop cars destroyed. That's
I mean that's a valid target. So okay, so if there's people who are inclined to steal, and they see a violent mob burning down a police station, it's not like the wildest stretch of the imagination that those other unrelated people would be like, hey, now's a really good time to rob Target.
It's excellent cover.
And that seems to be a lot of what's going on.
Yeah.
I will say that if, it probably doesn't do the cause any good.
Right, but they're not necessarily members of the cause. They're just a guy who wanted a TV, and he's like, now would be a really good time to steal a TV. I've been meaning to do that.
Well, they certainly do remind me of a B-grade zombie movie where the zombies are just roaring down the street, ripping everything up and eating people's brains and setting things on fire. I mean, it does not accomplish anything.
Part of the problem is you're watching CNN where they're going to show you
the rioters. I'm watching.
Because you said you opened by saying you were watching CNN.
No, I suggested that he was watching a zombie movie on CNN.
No, I'm watching.
He confirmed it, but I don't know if he was actually
What are you
watching
watching?
CNN.
Unicorn Riot, Life is GQ. These are private guys out on the street.
Well, that's from the source then. Okay.
Yeah. I don't pay any attention to CNN. I try never to even look at them.
Well, what we have determined is that no one likes CNN because the cops violently attacked CNN and the protesters violently attacked CNN too.
Poor CNN's getting it from both ends. Thanks for the call, Gene. Appreciate it. The number, 855-450-3733. Or did you notice how Gene sounded? You can go to discord.freetalklive.com and you can download the app there. Well, you don't have to, but you can. Download the app and sign in and do all that stuff. It takes a little, a few minutes the first go around, but after that, you can just hop right in real quick. It doesn't take much. It's discord.freetalklive.com. Let's go to Jeremy calling in from, looks like Alabama. Jeremy, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, man, how's it going?
All's well. What's on your mind, sir?
Oh, man, I just wanted to, give my little opinion, I don't think it means too much, but sometimes I think people need to hear words from other people,
That's why we talk to each other.
Yeah. Well, my whole outlook on it seems to be different from anybody I've come across. Your last caller, seemed to kind of agree with me. I believe that, think about it. Our forefathers fought for our freedom over a tea tax. The fact that we haven't rose up a long time ago is beyond me. And you're right. There shouldn't be riot. They shouldn't be looting and stealing stuff. But you got to think about the people who are stealing this stuff are the people who can't afford to really shop in these places. These are the people that the system has let down and bullied and punished for a long time. And I don't even know if the whole thing's real myself.
Well,
I
the whole
think
thing's not real. I think a lot of it is real, but the cop vandalized the AutoZone and then wrote on the door free stuff and stuff, which doesn't make sense. Like, that's not where you would want to. You have the specific parts for AutoZone. It's not like, oh yeah,
I think they only caught him at AutoZone. Apparently, he was like making his way down.
That was a cop, so that wasn't.
Well, it's alleged that was a cop. There's some good evidence.
It was alleged by the video that it was a cop. So
the jury of the mob has decided that was a cop.
The one thing I think they did they got right was they actually took out the police station. Take out the places.
Amen, bro.
Yes. The taxpayers pay for these places.
They also attacked the State House. They got stopped at that point, but
evict these evil politicians from what they're doing. Get them out of there. They're all evil. And the police have become goons for evil politicians and corrupt judges, and they punish the poor people. Think about it. All of these cops are middle class, and they live in the suburbs. They come into the cities to work, and they punish the people that live in these cities.
This is where I got to get out the historical quote. When people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. So if you want more
There's
liberty,
an even deadlier sounding one, which
the
is...
Tree of Liberty needs to be refreshed from time to time with the blood of tyrants and patriots.
That one's kind of defeatist, though, because it's like, all right, you'll never win. You just have to keep doing this over and over again.
Well, and I've already said, I'm already clear. It
Jimmy.
has to be sustained. If it's not sustained, they will regroup and return in force.
Which is true of everything. If you start building a house and don't sustain it till completion, you didn't accomplish anything.
Right.
If you start driving to the store and don't sustain it to completion, you haven't accomplished anything.
Right.
Like,
let's go to the phones here, folks. David calling in from Michigan. David, you're on Free Talk Live. David.
Well, good evening.
Hey, what's on your mind?
Yep, Jackson, Michigan, 80 miles from Detroit, and about 40 miles due south of Lansing. So that'd be east, or check that, west of Detroit, 80 mile. In the heart of the Republican.
So are there any riots going on there?
They're protests because they're Republican.
I'm concerned it may happen.
I don't know. Maybe. So what's going on?
Yeah, what are you concerned about? What's leading you to have that concern?
Grand Rapids, Kent County, Michigan. Serious reports of burning police vehicles, which is normally conservative, but of course the inner city, they have different agenda. But what is just making me so sick to my stomach is you're not protesting the small business owner. If you're
who could protest a small business owner?
If you're an agent for a glass company, I understand it, but it's still
right.
It's hard to direct the mob to the proper targets.
One thing's for sure, David's absolutely right. The glass company is going to be doing just fine. When COVID's over, I guess COVID is over. Just like that, COVID disappears.
I don't know, man. We're into June 15th here in New Hampshire now.
COVID is a very sapient virus with specific goals.
Thanks for the call, David. 855-450-3733.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Wallach, veterinarian and naturopathic physician. The Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy with an important message. Take charge of your health. Do not continue to blindly follow the system that has failed us all. I appreciate GCN listeners because you're open-minded and intelligent. If our system is so great, why is it that the United States, the USA, ranks nearly 60th worldwide in longevity and #1 in obesity? All the while we spend more money than all the other countries combined annually on unnecessary healthcare procedures and toxic drugs. It doesn't take much to get on track, not with the government or pharmaceutical companies, but rather you in control of your own health with a basic understanding of nutrition and supplementation. FDI Longevity has the finest quality health, sports, and energy supplements available. GCN listeners are invited to join our team of people who want to stay healthy well into old age. We are currently looking for specialists to represent FDI Longevity and Save America. To buy products at wholesale prices or join our business team, go to GCNteam.com. That's GCNteam.com. Support GCN. Get healthy.
Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau de Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on, so it naturally has antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-infection, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. But maybe more importantly, Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau de Arco Super Tea builds corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die in oxygen. The tea is great for healthy people and can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau de Arco Super Tea is only $34.95 plus shipping. Order now at shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. That's shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. shopsupertea.com.
Fact. The new NSA data center in Utah requires 1.7 million gallons of water every single day to operate. Billions of Fourth Amendment violations need massive computers and the water to cool them. That water is being supplied by the state of Utah. Fact. There's absolutely nothing in the Constitution which requires your state to help the feds violate your rights. Our message to Utah: turn it off. No water equals no NSA data center. Visit offnow.org.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever is on your mind. Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
Want to thank Edwardian for being an amplifier. Go to amp.freetalklive.com. That's amp.freetalklive.com. Free Talk Live allows opinions that you will not see in nationally syndicated radio.
Like it's radio?
Well, not here, nor will you hear it. Thank you. It's just the way it is, right? Like some voices make it, some voices don't. Free Talk Live tries to make it so all the voices are heard over it. And you can support that by going to amp.freetalklive.com. That's amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to Joe calling in from Pennsylvania. Joe, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello?
Hello, Joe. What do you know?
Yeah, I've got you on my radio here, and I thought, well, maybe I'll give you a call. I watched that video of the murder of Mr. Floyd.
Yes.
several times. They had him handcuffed, and they were walking him over to the police van.
Uh-huh.
Now, they were going to put him in the back seat there, but there must have been some equipment or something, so they took him around to the other side of the van.
Uh-huh.
Now, we don't know what happened for a couple minutes on the other side of the van because there was nobody there with a camera.
Right.
Now, Mr. Floyd, I think he had to do something to this policeman to irritate him so bad that he threw him to the ground.
What could he have possibly done handcuffed, though, that was
He was
so
handcuffed
egregious?
with his hands behind his back.
Right.
Right. Now, what if this is a theory, I don't know, they say they got some evidence. What if he would have told the cop that he had the virus and spit in his face?
Could have happened,
Would
I suppose.
that be grounds enough for him to throw him on the ground? And
Well, no, because first of all, the virus has like a 97, 99 to 99 plus percentage of recovery rate.
I think spitting's an assault,
And
though.
most people are
That's an extra charge.
asymptomatic, and if you're old and frail and have underlying health conditions that would make you susceptible to the virus, you probably shouldn't be a cop in the first place. If you're 70 plus with 70 plus with respiratory conditions, you shouldn't be a cop in the first place. And
okay, I just wondered.
You should also
what he
handle
did
people
there.
who are handcuffed, and like you don't handcuff somebody with their hands behind their back and then face them to you. This is also all just wild speculation.
I think when he was about to put him in the back seat, he probably turned to him and said something to him. Maybe he said that and spit at him or something.
Well,
would that have
that's
justified
when
it in your
the
mind?
policeman threw him to the ground. That's
Joe, there's another thing about this is that these two guys actually worked as security agents at the same bar.
There's no evidence that they knew each other, though.
I don't know what the evidence is. It's
Okay.
a hell of a lot better than what he spit in his face, though. So I think that Joe can add this, right? Like he can add it to his whole theory that he's concocting here, is that maybe he knew him ahead of time and there was an important, I don't know what it is. 855-450-3733. Thank you for the call, Joe. Appreciate it. Let's go to
some other evidence.
Sorry.
We'll see.
Whoops, there you go. Wrong button. Go to Surf Daddy calling in from California, professional radio talk show here. Surf Daddy, you're on Free Talk Live.
How you guys doing?
All's well. What's on your mind?
You know LA County, the entire county?
I know it exists.
Huh?
I know LA County exists, yes.
Yeah. Just went into a curfew starting at 6 p.m. for the entire county. That's 10 million people.
Well, it's not like the bars are open anyway, right?
No,
Aren't they
they've
also
opened up.
under a stay-at-home order? So isn't the curfew kind of redundant?
No, that was supposed to end starting Friday night, actually.
So they found a new excuse to keep you inside.
So it's just like it's just the lockdown.
Surf Daddy, talk right into your
rephrased.
phone, please.
Yeah, I'm in Ventura, so I'm right next door to LA County. Yeah, you know, I've been around a while. I was in '87. There was the LA street scene where I was down there during pretty violent riots. It's crazy being in a real riot. Of course, we know the LA riots of '92 and how violent that was, and that was truly violent. It was different then. I guess the thing that I guess concerns me more about this one is just how widespread on a nationwide thing. You know, at least they're not
Right, there's
killing
nothing
people
like
they
this.
were
I
in
would agree with
92.
you. Absolutely. I have never seen anything like this. Looked through what I could, searching online, trying to find some history that's comparable. I don't know. I don't know what the results are going to be because I've never seen anything like this.
I think part of the reason it's spread is marketing, right?
Marketing.
Because you had the dude in New York with the cigarettes, right? Who they choked him out. His last words were like, "I can't breathe."
Yeah.
They put that on T-shirts. The cops wore T-shirts that said,
When
"I can breathe."
When I first saw this, I thought it was they were rehashing this,
Right.
the whole guy in Staten Island thing.
So you had all the protest against that violence, right? Against what was a non-crime selling Lucy cigarettes, right? You had all the protest,
Well, it was a violation, but yeah.
whatever, all the tension associated with that, And then you have this guy saying the same thing. I can't breathe. And I think that's what set people off, because obviously,
in this case, the guy actually said, I can't breathe, officer, which, to the end, this dude was giving the respect, it seems, that you're supposed to.
But either way, it shows that the efforts on the protester side after the last one, after the New York guy, went unheard because a guy says it again, and the result is the same. They stand on his neck, and they kill him.
Well, supposedly, we've had police officers call in multiple times since this occurred, and they're saying that, look, we've been told over and over not to do this.
Well, I'm going to call BS on that because I've had it done to me.
That doesn't mean they weren't told not to do it. It means they did it.
Yeah, in Hawaii. I don't remember the year. So I got dragged from my car. I was taken into the police station. I was peaceful but not compliant, right? Like I was not assisting the arrest, but I was, not resisting it either. And
making them carry you kind of thing?
Right. And I was put on the ground, and an officer came up. He just, was helping everybody else out, and he came and he put his knee on my head, right, as I was laying on the ground. And I went, oh, the old knee on the head trick. Did they teach you that at the academy, right? And I got a chuckle out of it, and one of the other guys, one of the kinder officers, pushed him off and said, we don't need to do that. So there was a good officer, if as good as you want to say there.
Okay, so
hold on, let's go to the phones before we...
Right, you're right. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, he was pushed away by someone,
gotcha,
because he had his knee on my head. So the fact that they're not trained to do that, BS.
Hank in Florida. Hank, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, I was calling in to give you an update in Ocala.
Ocala?
He's been out of lockdown.
Ocala's not the sort that I would expect to have some kind of riots going on.
Not yet, but the ferals run around here too. We got a bunch of feral people.
Feral, okay. They were once domesticated and now have gone wild.
Is that what feral means? I thought
exactly. They're feral.
Okay.
And, they'll take advantage of any chance they get. But if we don't have, I don't know why everybody's knocking the police, because guess what? The police stay home tomorrow. They rob your business. They rob you.
The police are not going to protect us. The police are going to
hold
up in their
they didn't even protect their
Go up
station.
in a helicopter.
Hold on, you're telling me the police do not protect us?
Yes, I will. I'm
Are
telling
you
you
telling
that.
us
Yes.
they do not maintain law?
Yes.
No, they maintain the law, but they do not protect us.
They don't even maintain the law because they enforce the laws indiscriminately, and they arrest people for
you
non-laws.
people walk down the street not worried about getting raped or being murdered?
I do not worry about that when I walk down the street.
I don't worry about that because most people here aren't going to do that.
And if there's not no police to keep these people under control, then
who are
guess
these
what?
people?
They'll run wild.
Well, they did.
The feral ones.
But the police are, but the ferals are running wild, as you say, and the police are not keeping control.
Well, yeah, they've been ordered to stand down.
Well,
that's a form of not keeping control.
What they should do is round these people up into a big warehouse,
all right,
and close the door behind them and put them all in jail. They should not be allowed to even be on the street and do this kind of shit.
Whoa, you cannot say that, Hank. I'm terribly sorry. We don't just use the S-bomb on here on the air. But, one thing I see, I get the point, right? Like, I'm frustrated by what I see on the television with businesses being burned and that sort of thing. But the other thing is this country was kind of founded by people who were ungovernable, as
Los Ingobernables,
as the British were calling us at the time, and it worked at that point. I'm not saying this is going to work. I have no idea what's going on.
It's in the spirit of the country, man.
So, I don't know. I do see most of the evidence is that the police are hired by the government to protect and serve the government.
There you go.
Do we get some extraneous protecting and serving? Absolutely, I've had that. But,
I've had it too, with the knee on my head.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, The Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,735, silver at $18.34, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,422. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, millions of Americans feel like the country is drifting precariously close to the point where social cohesion unravels. What's the Minneapolis Police Department solution? Arrest a team of journalists live on air. The same police department that hired the officer who cruelly and arbitrarily murdered George Floyd has responded to the intensifying media coverage of the riots that are now beginning to spread across the U.S. with what some might describe as Stalinist tactics. The Free Thought Project reports CNN tweeted a photo of reporter Omar Jimenez being taken into custody in the middle of the live report.
I'm sorry?
You're under arrest.
Okay. Do you mind telling me
whoa.
why I'm under arrest, sir? Why am I under arrest, sir?
Officer's with CNN and he's on the air right now.
The video was captured by the crew while they were being arrested. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz told CNN Worldwide President Jeff Zucker he deeply apologizes for what happened. The crew has since been released from custody. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. In a tweet around midnight Friday morning, President Donald Trump took to his Twitter account and threatened to begin extrajudiciously executing protesters suspected of looting in Minneapolis. The Free Thought Project says it's an unprecedented move by a president and speaks to the nature of the current situation in the United States. Stealing a TV from Target does not warrant a death sentence, especially without due process. After Trump made the threat, Twitter hid the tweet behind a warning on Friday, accusing Trump of breaking its rules by glorifying violence. However, it's so much more than glorifying violence. It's advocating for the extrajudicial slaughter of hundreds of people over property damage. Trump, in his tweet, said, quote, "These thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let that happen. Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty and we will assume control. But when the looting starts, the shooting starts." End quote. A bizarre twist in the murder of George Floyd was reported on Thursday night, as a former club owner in South Minneapolis revealed that Floyd worked at her club as a security guard, alongside recently fired police officer Derek Chauvin, the man who killed Floyd. Club owner Maya Santamaria says that the two both worked the same security shift at El Nuevo Rodeo Club on Lake Street before the business was sold a few months ago. The Mind Unleashed reports that Santamaria said she can't be certain that Chauvin and Floyd knew each other, because often over a dozen security guards working at the club on any given night might not have any contact with each other. Still, they did work overlapping shifts, and the fact that one man ended up killing the other should justify further investigation into whether or not the two had a prior relationship. That could potentially mean there was a deeper motive behind the murder. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
If you're the parent of a man-child, you know how frustrating it can sometimes be. The piercing sound of his video games waking you up at 2 in the morning. His insatiable hunger and inability to cook anything for himself. The messes he makes. The stress can be overwhelming.
Something will set them off, such as their man-child will tell them that they don't know how to tie a tie even though they're almost 30. They'll start shaking them and yelling and saying, "What the hell is wrong with you? Why don't you get a real job instead of working part-time at a board game store?"
The results of shaken man-child syndrome are devastating. Trauma caused by the brain colliding with the inside of the man-child's skull can lead to cognitive disabilities, making it even more unlikely he'll finally marry the girl he's been having a long-distance online relationship with for 6 years, or it can even lead to death.
He's not spilling cereal all over the couch or leaving his beard clippings in the bathroom sink intentionally. He truly does not know what he's doing.
For the Lab Report, I'm Stuart Adams.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
We're kicking off the third and final hour of Free Talk Live, but it is a full hour, so, call on in. We still got a couple of phone lines open. The number's 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. As in freedom, it's Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
Let's go right to the phones. I'll just pick the person who's been on the longest. Tom, calling in from New Hampshire. Oh, boy. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live.
I just wanted to mention that in 2018, in Sorong, West Papua, Indonesia, a man was killed by a crocodile from a nearby crocodile farm, and the villagers were furious. But as furious as they were about this senseless death, they did not go out and riot against innocent people. They went to that crocodile farm and they killed 292 crocodiles, and now that village is a little bit safer without those dangerous animals.
But did they get the crocodile that actually killed the villager?
I don't know, but what difference does it make? As long as the village is a little bit safer without all those crocodiles.
So in this particular riot, though, they mostly are destroying the people and the buildings of the people who were the problem. They're mostly not destroying innocent people and property.
Mostly.
Although I wouldn't classify Target as innocent exactly. They've been involved in eminent domain themselves.
Tom, what does one do with crocodiles on a crocodile farm? I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't milk them, right?
They breed crocodiles. They were breeding these crocodiles.
I got that impression.
For the government because
for the government.
Because they had a license. It's kind of like an excuse, like having a warrant to barge into somebody's house. They have a license to put this crocodile breeding farm in there because I guess crocodiles. You need to have crocodiles in Indonesia for whatever reason. The nature
boots, belts, other things.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what they went, and they didn't go out and attack innocent people. They went and they killed crocodiles.
Thank you for the call, Tom.
I think you can get crocodile meat down south, too.
Well, I've never had crocodile meat, but I have had gator.
Okay.
And yes, it does taste like chicken. It's kind of chewy chicken. But anyway, there you go. Thanks for the call, Tom. Let's go to Jim calling in from Virginia Beach. Jim, you're on Free Talk Live.
You have not had my ridiculously overcooked chicken on the grill because I had a beer and forgot about it. The chicken can be chewy. I'm just saying.
It can be, yes. If you do not do chicken correctly, it can be chewy. Also, the gator that I've eaten, I caught myself, and we did it over a campfire. So
in jail?
Well, it wasn't in jail. No.
Oh, okay.
It was in prison.
Okay.
Jim, you're on Free Talk.
Sorry for that confusion.
Okay. So I want to express my wonderful white privilege and say, why is there a lot of people like me trying to figure out what did the guy in handcuffs do wrong that got himself in the predicament with a knee on his neck?
Yeah, I don't know what he was charged with.
It was an unfortunate.
He tried to pass a bad $20 bill or something like that.
You know? No, I'm saying like once he was, I heard a gentleman say like once he was in handcuffs, maybe he said something and spit on him and said he had the coronavirus.
Yeah, just completely fabricated an excuse,
Yeah,
which we
like,
don't do for any
why
other
isn't
victim.
The other guy, just a big giant T, and just had his hand in his pocket, his knee on his neck, and was like, maybe my thing isn't that big, but look at my gun and my knee on your neck. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I got to say that's probably
I'm starting
my
to
opinion
shout
too.
because I get emotional. I
Don't we
just
all?
get annoyed with it, you know?
Yeah, because if somebody
And
gets
of
robbed, we're
course-
not like, oh, well, why did that robber hate them? What did they do to make them mad? But we do that for, or I mean, we don't, but people do that for victims of police violence because they just have to justify what the police did by any means necessary.
Because they worship the police, and the police have to have a justification for
I'm
doing
not
that.
a big
Otherwise, it
giant-
destroys their worldview.
Yeah, I'm not a big giant douchebag that says we don't need police. We do. But we
I'll be
also
that giant
don't
douchebag.
need
Hear
to
that?
make
Yep.
excuses. You do something wrong, you get a ticket. You do something wrong, you get killed. You do something wrong, you get thrown to the wolves, or all the gators get killed, or some dude with a stupid haircut gets thrown in the mob.
Sometimes
I
you
don't know.
don't do anything wrong, and they still attack you.
I have to say I have some level of empathy with Jim's position here. So, you can, on one hand, think that, that what happened to this gentleman in Minneapolis
Floyd.
was unacceptable, and at the same time, still not be for businesses being burned down and that kind of thing. So, thank you for the call, Jim. The number 855-450-3733. Let's go to Salvatore in South Carolina. Salvatore, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, hi there, y'all. I'm actually driving downtown here, and trust me, the riots are still going on. There's plenty. I wouldn't say riots. They're peaceful protests right now. But oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Did he just get into an accident? Is that
No,
the gag?
this is fake.
I think
Is that
that's
the
a
gag?
suggestion.
Okay.
There was a really great one where
What
who's
if he
the
did
who's the
get
guy
into an
from the Coast to Coast? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The
Neither
first
can
one. Anyway, I got to see him.
Ian would know.
Yeah. I can remember George Norrie and Ian Punnett, but I cannot remember the guy who started Coast to Coast. And now there are 100,000 people screaming at their radio right now. But anyway, I got to see him before he passed away relatively recently. And they played something like that, one of his calls, and it was like, I don't know what that was. And then just kind of moved on. Oh, let's
Good
go.
effort, though.
Steve in Florida. Oh, I thought it was good. I mean, that's good. That's excellent Free Talk Live kind of pranking stuff there.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
high quality pranking as opposed to
Understood.
some of y'all who like to do
Just
really
cuss words.
Yeah.
Lame.
Steve, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, sitting there thinking, I was wondering who protects y'all's houses and stuff when you are not there?
Nobody. When I'm not there, I'm usually there though.
I live in an
but I mean,
apartment,
you know-
so
But
there's
either
security
way,
doors.
you don't think without law and order, people wouldn't run wild and attack your house.
Well, which one, law or order?
Both.
Well, they're two different things, though.
Hand too.
I think you're mostly talking about law, and I think you're mostly talking about the cops. So if most people wanted to violently break into houses all day long, that's what they do, cops or no, because the number of cops that we have could not stop the number of people if all the people just wanted to go around breaking in the houses.
Yeah, I hope we don't live in a society or a world where that's the only thing preventing people from doing violent and unspeakable things is the fact that they might get in trouble by the cops.
Oh, yeah, that's
Maybe.
the truth. I'm sorry, without law, there would not be order.
So would you just break into houses all day if you knew you would not get caught by the cops?
Many people would. Why
But
go
would
to
you?
work?
But would you?
When I could steal, if I could steal from you, and I'm sure you got more than I do, then I might do that.
And every time you do that, though, you're putting your life at risk, right? Because at some point you're going to break into a house, and without law and order, you're just going to get shot. And I'd be okay with that.
Shoot you first.
Maybe.
Yep.
Well, so my experience, Steve, is with burglars is usually the police don't catch them until they've done 100 burglaries. And
would it be okay if I broke into your house, shot you, and raped your wife?
well, did you really need to up it?
Why doesn't his wife have a rifle? I have a rifle. I have a Glock. I have all kinds of weapons.
I may shoot her too first.
You may, but you may not.
You're gonna shoot her first and then rape her? That's kind of beyond.
So, Steve,
if you assume that my house is not protected or that I wouldn't protect it to the death if you tried to break in.
This fun little game where we're like, well, what if thing? I mean, what the reality is that I've got to play. Steve, hold on, Steve. Let me make my statement. I didn't get to, and I'll let you. If I had to hold you over, the reality is I have to pay for this organization that may or may not respond depending on how they feel. The Supreme Court of the United States of America has ruled not once, but multiple times that there is no obligation to protect. Now, to take my money at the threat of putting my family on the street and then not create an obligation, I mean, I could hire a private agency to do work better than that. I'll hold Steve over so he gets a chance to talk here on Free Talk Live.
I have a chocolate cocker spaniel named Lady and a blackmouth cur, and it's a lot of responsibility owning a dog. My dogs don't have any health problems because they're eating what they need to eat.
DINOVITE.com.
Dynavite is like pouring a multivitamin right onto their food. We'll be scooping our Dynavite, then squirting the liquid chops in the fish oil. They start salivating.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynavite at DINOVITE.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret Shaving Oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world.
So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You're welcome to call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And we had held Steve over from Florida, and I had just sort of made the point that, look, I'm a firefighter. I appreciate the police officers I work with. I've worked with quite a few good people who do good stuff. But when one looks at a system and says, all right, you're going to pay for these people's salary, and then if you don't do it, we're going to kick you out of your house, and you better say thank you.
And who's going to be doing the kicking out of the house if it comes to that?
I don't think that the...
Hold on. Let's get to Steve on here on Free Talk Live. Steve, you're on Free Talk Live.
Okay. We could debate the point. You are obviously anti-cop.
I am not anti-cop.
I am.
But you said you're a firefighter. I presume the taxpayers pay your salary.
They pay a small stipend for me to respond.
Right?
Statist.
What's that?
You're not a volunteer, are you?
I am a volunteer, and they pay a small stipend for me to respond, and I donate that small stipend to some charity of my choice at the end of the year.
Well, I'd like to thank you for all you do either way.
Appreciate it.
And I'd like to thank all the police for all they do. I'm sorry there is a few bad cops.
All they do? Sure. Even putting their knees on someone's neck and crushing them to death?
Well, they go out and risk their life. They go out and risk their life every day because people like to shoot cops. But yeah, they risk their life.
People don't often shoot cops. There's a list. I think it came in 35th most dangerous last year.
People don't often kill cops. I mean, cops don't often kill people. It does happen.
It happens more so than any other part of the world.
Well, they do often kidnap people, though, and enslave them.
Well, being arrested, I'm sure, yeah, you could always say, I've always said you're guilty till proven innocent, because when the cop puts the cuff on you, you're presumed guilty right there.
Yeah, it's the truth.
It's a terrible way to think about it, though.
The truth is, thank goodness the police system and the firefighters is not going nowhere. I'm glad they're there when I call 911.
Well, firefighters don't go around kidnapping people and shooting at people and any of that stuff. Firefighters actually provide a good service.
They stay at the station until they're called upon.
So do the police. They perform a
Police
great
do
service.
not stay at the station until they're called upon. They drive around looking for trouble, and surprised they find it.
No,
and they hide.
They go around preventing trouble. You act like they look for trouble. If there
They
wasn't
do.
trouble,
They're literally looking for trouble, even from a status standpoint. They're out patrolling, looking for trouble.
please listen to me. Okay, please listen to me. We did not create a police department because there was no trouble.
Yeah, you created a police department to catch runaway slaves.
Yeah.
No,
You can look that up. They created police departments to catch runaway slaves. That is the origin of United States police departments.
Well, maybe that's why they created it. But in the Wild West, they organized sheriffs and police. And,
those would be posses put together by the sheriff.
The peace.
There's some distinction.
To maintain the peace.
Agreed.
All
right.
You said something about your tax dollars. Well, every cop car that gets burned down, every police station that gets burned down, guess what? That just costs you more in taxes. Because
right. The police officers just get a free new station, right? I wonder if this is what I've speculated on this is that I wonder if these cops wanted a new station, and now they got one coming.
I doubt it.
Because it isn't going to be the cops that pay for it. It's not going to be the rioters that pay for it. It's going to be people going to work that pays for it. But
well, then start a tax protest as well, and don't fund them to build their new police station to continue to oppress everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Tax protest is really going to work. It's just going to end you up poor and enslaved. What you do is if you don't like where you live, leave. It's all you can do. Let's go to the phones. Chris in Oregon. Chris, you're on Free Talk Live. Thanks for the call, Steve.
Hey, guys. I am calling about the protests and the police and the National Guard's response to it.
Okay.
And I think this is really telling about where most of the police and the National Guard stand in terms of like all the video footage of like the extremely brutal response of like police beating people, the National Guard shooting people, shooting reporters. That are clearly marked reporters. And I think this is really revealing in that I know some people have a naive view that if like a civil war or something like that started, that most of the police would stand alongside of just average American citizens. And I think that is just clearly not true. Most of them will turn their guns at the average American citizen and beat and kill them if they're told to.
I had a friend tell me to my face that he would do that to me.
And I think that the thing that people they have this weird...
Well, the police didn't do that with the protesters in Michigan last week.
They were armed.
Well, the police were armed? So were the protesters,
that's
right?
What I'm saying. The
that's what I'm saying is
that's
that
why they didn't engage.
And remember, the government's job is to separate us, is to say, who's different, who's not. I have a humble suggestion for how to take a step in the right direction for making police departments better. Because right now, a lot of police departments, a lot of people don't feel like their police department serves them.
Privatize it and fund it voluntarily.
I'm fine for that, but it's not going to happen. I mean, it's just a ludicrous, anarchist, blah, 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 privatize. Like, I'm so sick of
what's your humble suggestion that's going to work?
15 years on the air on Free Talk Live, making the same suggestions over and over again. Here's the suggestion. The suggestion is hire cops that match the community demographically. It's not that hard. Try to get them locally and try to get them to match demographically or at least close. Because in Ferguson, when you have 80%
you still have a serious selection bias problem.
Meaning?
We don't draft cops, so only people who apply for the job of I want to kick people around are going to be cops.
And that's something that you could, like the police could be doing a program, I don't know, playing ball with the kids and teaching them, hey, the cops aren't so bad, if that's what they wanted to do to bring more in from the community.
Please don't play baseball, any sport with a gun on your hip.
I had a friend who lived in the same community as me, joined, the National Guard, whatever it happened to be at the time. And we had a similar conversation. I said, what if you're ordered to fire on me because I'm protesting what the state is doing? He said he would follow the order.
And
same community.
Oh, I've heard people say
very
things
close.
like that.
So community demographics not going to matter when their paychecks are.
It almost has to be true because I think people have this weird idealistic view of what a civil war would be, where it's like, okay, one day it's regular cops, the next day there's an announcement, this is not policing anymore, this is a civil war now, and so pick your teams. And that's not how it would go down. It would. So on a regular day, they get ordered to go kidnap and shoot people, and so they do that. And now there's an uprising. It's still illegal to shoot the cops once you call it a civil war. some people are now fighting this civil war. More people are joining it. And so they get the order, okay, go kidnap these people and shoot them. And so they do. There's never going to be that switch in their head where it's like, oh, well, yesterday I was arresting criminals, but today it's a civil war, so what team do I want to be on? They're already in the team that's fighting the uprising.
Well, if there were a civil war, and I don't expect to see one, and it's not going to go well if there is, it's going to be the country folks against the city folks. Seems to be where the real animosity lies. And cities are completely indefensible. They have no weapons, and they're just sort of angry and don't understand what country folks are about. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
This COVID-19 thing has turned the world upside down. Regardless of what you believe about it, it has changed our lives. But what's not changed is that if you own a business, you need to advertise to reach new customers or clients. Our audience is not the kind to stick their heads in the sand during a crisis. They are fully engaged and more active than ever. Special advertising packages are available to you to help you not just recover, but thrive. Email my sales manager, Matthew at freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
When you're coping with bad news and the news media come calling, and they will, don't clam up. As notorious political figures find out the hard way, the cover-up can be worse than the crime. So get out in front of unfavorable news about your company, your group, or organization, or yourself. The sooner you confront a negative story, the sooner it will be over. Responding as quickly to negative stories as you do to positive ones enhances your credibility. Hiding embarrassing information or lying will do more damage than damage control. Never stonewall. Tell your side of the story, use specifics, and detail what corrective action has already been taken. Respond in kind. If the issue is emotional, don't sound like a cold, unemotional Mr. Spock. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Richie Rich.
And Melanie.
Just want to tell you about Fork Fest. So, obviously, this whole COVID thing has the world...
It's done already.
Yeah, well,
Forget
it's over.
it.
But it has the world kind of changing and morphing. Fork Fest was going to be a week-long festival after the Porcupine Freedom Festival in Rogers Campground in northern New Hampshire. But the Porcupine Freedom Festival is kind of, going to be a little different. So Fork Fest is now going to be 2 weeks up at Rogers from the end of June to the beginning of July, including over the 4th of July weekend. And if you want to find out more, go to forkfest.party. That's fork, as in what you eat with, forkfest.party. Let's go to the phones and talk to Jack calling from Virginia Beach. Jack, you're on Free Talk Live.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we do some more? How about-
Oh, speaking to somebody else, what a surprise. You remind me of Senator Ted Kennedy, who was extremely popular.
I used to like the Dead Kennedys. My favorite album is Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables.
I'm talking about the man whose name rhymes with dead. Who was in
Ted
a place
Kennedy.
that I hope you go to sooner rather than later, Minister Edge.
Is Ted Kennedy
Congress?
dead? Are you wishing death upon me?
Yeah, I'd like you to go to hell sooner rather than later, you liar.
Oh.
But Mel, I should like.
It was real connection problems, and I do appreciate the call. I don't know why he wants me to go to hell, but there you go. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450 free. Let's go to Crichton calling in from Kentucky. Crichton, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, sir. Mark Edge is my spirit host, and I'm completely the opposite of the last caller, and I hope you can hear me better.
Yeah, you sounded great. It's good to hear from you again, by the way, Crichton. It's been years.
Yes, well, I do listen every now and again, but I wanted to call in specifically to talk to you on your show because I wanted to make it clear that you are the guy that represents my line of thought in the Libertarian Party. You.
Thank you.
In particular, among all the different hosts now, there's all kinds of Libertarian podcasts these days, like there when 10 years ago there wasn't. But you are still the representative that I most align with. And I wanted you to know that.
I appreciate it,
But
Crichton.
the other reason I wanted to call in today is because I'm an aghast as a libertarian. I believe that the action you play in the marketplace is the most effective form of activism.
Okay.
On that note, I used Bitcoin about 2 months ago to buy my daughter a gift for her birthday.
Okay.
And her birthday was this past week. The gift was a Raspberry Pi 4. And in case you don't know what that is, it's a single board computer chip that
Was
runs
it the
on
new
Linux.
8 gigabyte version that just came out?
No, that came out after I bought
okay.
it. So, but yeah, it's a 4 gigabyte.
Okay.
It's a good size.
and
Top of
it's-
the line a month ago.
I set it up as a desktop with Raspbian as the operating system for my 8-year-old daughter. And she's already playing on it. But my point, the primary reason I called about it is because I paid for it entirely with Bitcoin and never did a Federal Reserve note involved in the transaction on any level and any part of it. And I find that a lot of people that can hear about Bitcoin around me anyway, their first complaint is, what can you buy with it?
Whatever you
And
want.
my response is, anything you want.
Yeah.
I've bought all kinds of things with it, and I'm to this day. I mean, when 9 years ago, 8 years ago, that was a legitimate complaint, but for the past many years, it's not, and I don't understand why I'm still hearing that complaint.
Right. All you have to do is go to
you-
Save at Purse. That's saveatpurse.com, and you can buy pretty much anything that they have on Amazon and save about 20%. I just ordered something off of Amazon, and I'm expecting delivery coming this week, and I'm just sort of waiting on it.
And some places are better than others. I can pay my rent with crypto. There is a limited amount of groceries I can get with crypto. The large grocery stores don't take them, but the kind of farmers market does. So you can't get vegetables all year around or anything like that, but you can buy meat with crypto here. Most grocery stores, some restaurants take it. I messed up that
You
sentence.
can also go to giftcards.bitcoin.com and buy gift cards to restaurants that you want to go to. So I know Applebee's is there, comes to mind. It's one of the restaurants that I saw, and I'm sure there's quite a few more. Crichton, thank you for the call, and thanks for pointing out that you don't have to use their money, because that's what gives them power.
You will continue to get that rebuttal until it's accepted natively at like Walmart and Amazon. When there's a button on
I want Walmart to have crypto.
You may not want to, but that's going to be the impetus for when people stop saying, what can I buy with it, or what
By the time they get that, the value to cryptocurrencies as far as sort of get in and make money, kind of get some more value for yourself, that kind of thing, will be completely done.
Okay.
It'll be cryptocurrency will just be the thing.
Understood. But that's the point in time where people stop going, what can you use this
You don't
for?
want to learn. You don't want to learn about it. You won't earn. End of story.
Also
a lot of people
Hopefully
who earned.
Market Basket will take crypto and Walmart won't.
That might be possible.
Let's go to James calling in from Utah. James, you're on Free Talk Live.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, second thought. Jack.
Okay, so that's the guy that was calling in previously. Let's go to Jim calling in from Michigan. Jim, you're on Free Talk Live.
From Alpena?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep, what's on your mind?
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm calling from Alpena, Michigan. I enjoy listening to you folks every, in the evening when I'm walking my dog. And you had mentioned something interesting just a few minutes ago on the radio. You said about you could picture like a conflict between rural folks and city folks, and it's pretty fascinating. Can you talk about that for a few minutes and elaborate on it? Because I live in a country like that, and I think you got an interesting point.
Right. So people.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to.
Well, I'm going to hang up now, and I can listen to it on my radio. Is that okay?
You got it.
I just want to hear your comments. You guys are sharp. You really are.
Thank you, Jim.
And I really enjoy listening to you in the evening. And but can you talk about it for a few minutes?
I will do just that just now. So my people are salivating and have salivated for a long time over some civil war, what it'll look like, what the sides will be, and these sorts of things. Al Gore suggested in 2000 that there were two Americas, and if in 2000 there were two Americas, those two Americas have done nothing but get farther and farther apart. The best I can tell as far as those two Americas go is city folks versus country folks. If you look at how people vote, I can't remember what the number is, but the vast majority of counties in America voted for Donald Trump, and a tiny little amount of like two-figure amount of counties voted for Hillary Clinton. And the people who voted for Hillary Clinton and the people who voted for Donald Trump cannot understand why the other people in the other place would possibly do what they did and vote for this other group. At this point, there's so little in common between these people that if there's a conflict, I think that's how it's going to go. Secondly, what strategically do city people have in order to press a conflict? Right now, they're trying to press a conflict, and they're going to a riot dressed in street clothes. Maybe they got a mask on
because they're not allowed to buy riot gear.
Well, whatever. They don't have riot gear, and you wouldn't be able to get riot gear now anyway. You can't just go out and buy riot gear afterwards. And so
plan ahead. Preppers.
You would have to plan ahead, and the people that would be willing to plan ahead are the country folks who aren't going to go to the riot. So, the city folks, what are you going to do? What do you think you're going to do when you prosecute your war against the country folks? You're going to go out in the countryside with what? Your vehicles are going to look like they don't belong there.
Are city people planning on invading the country? I've never heard
No,
of
they're usually
this.
just unhappy, and they usually just burn up their own place. So the country folks are like standing outside going, I wonder why they do that.
It seems like that conflict could be separated without violence, right? Just two Americas? Fine, two Americas.
I would love to see two Americas separated so there wouldn't be violence. But right now, that's what the political system does, is set people on each other. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon you'll need a plan and place to survive. Forget bunkers. You're not a live underground gopher. You need survivalist camps, the ultimate fully functional, off-the-grid mobile survival bug-out house that's well-equipped and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Bold statement? You bet. See them now at survivalistcamps.com. That's survivalistcamps.com. Trust your family's survival to survivalistcamps.com.
Advertising is simple. It starts with someone who has a need.
Mom!
And then gets more specific.
Mom, I want pizza.
Then we add urgency.
I want pizza tonight.
Before you know it, your GCN advertising message is reaching millions of listeners. Listeners who are definitely in need.
We want pizza!
You see, advertising on GCN is simple. Your message meets their need, and the result means new business for you. Tell us about your business. Then let our super creative department go to work to craft just the right message to feed those who have an urgent need.
We want pizza tonight!
GCN has the most affordable national radio advertising rates, period. And millions of people listen to GCN radio programs on over 1,000 AM and FM and XM stations and streaming audio live. Get started today with GCN, the Genesis Communications Network. Just shoot us an email, advertise@gcnlive.com.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens. We support the amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Jeunesse products are designed by leading doctors in their field with natural ingredients and even stem cell technology. These products help your body perform and look better. Shop Jeunesse at gcnlife.com or call 1-844-443-6637. gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Free Talk Live.
Because I think it corrupts people over time. I mean, I don't think a homosexual is not going to be perverted in 5 minutes to turn to bestiality. But over generations, if they're having children, I believe over generations, it will pervert.
I'm pretty certain that being gay is not a choice because I think I'd make that choice, right? Like, my biggest problem with gay people is that I'm, like, jealous of them. Like, they have that Grindr app, like, they just go on their smartphone and get laid.
Yeah,
and
Derek
like,
is on that thing all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. I'm so envious of this, but I'm like, I gag when I brush my teeth. Like, I just couldn't do it, you know, and so... I made him laugh.
Wait, doesn't that mean he's perverted if he laughed at that joke?
You're laughing at a sick joke, sir. You're perverting society. You are responsible for the downfall of this country. It's all Karl Marx from here, thanks to you, pal.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live, final segment. I'm not going to give the phone lines because we've got 3 calls on at this point. So I do want to tell you how, if you've got a business and you're trying to reach libertarians, and you are a libertarian, the best way to start with that. At least it's cheap. Go to liberty.menu. We've teamed up with liberty.menu to bring libertarians together so that they can do business together, because that's what people have been asking for a long time. Go to liberty.menu and you can do business with libertarians as a libertarian. Let's go to Steve calling in from Florida. Steve, you're on Free Talk Live.
Just want to say I like your show.
Thank you,
I don't
Steve.
get to listen to it enough.
couple of comments in regards to what's happening. Obviously, these people are not worried about the big coronavirus that they could get.
There's more important things on their mind.
Right, and just like that, coronavirus is
I mean,
gone.
they're more likely to be killed by a cop than by coronavirus, so that's kind of reasonable.
Second thing is, this man obviously did something to get in the situation he was in.
How is that obvious?
He may not have. Here,
let him make a statement.
Didn't he have a warrant for his arrest for bad checks?
No.
I think he
had a call on him for bad checks.
What's a call mean?
Or somebody called the
store
cops and
owner
said, "Hey, come
called.
get this
Okay,
guy."
so it was a criminal.
And it turns out it wasn't even a bad.
There's an interesting interesting aspect to this, Steve, that you may like. We don't know exactly what it is, but they used to work. He and the cop used to work at the same place.
Okay.
And I don't know what that means.
Doesn't mean anything yet. Just means that they worked at the same place.
It's just a piece of evidence.
My point is, I have a firm philosophy. You put yourself in a situation, you deserve what you get. That's point blank.
All right, that's your 2 cents.
Concerned, it's for you there?
Yep, I got you.
Hello.
In a lot of cases, that situation is being black in public.
Well, it could be.
Well, he shouldn't have gone out to public. He should have just stayed inside forever.
There you go.
Really?
And as far as what you're talking about, trying to incite something, I spent 6 years and 11 months locked up, and it wasn't for being nice. I spent 19 months in solitary confinement, and it wasn't for being nice. The last 30 years, I gave my word to my wife I'd never raise my hands or my feet to another human unless they touch me. So if you put yourself in a situation, you deserve what you get.
Well, then I understand where you're coming from on that one, Steve, because, ultimately you do get to make that decision. And, you and I have had the opportunity to kind of take a look at, well, what happens? And yeah, I mean, same here. I've had a similar circumstance, and I don't go back because I understand that I'm in charge of that. I get to make that decision ultimately. This seems like, of the stories I've, to the contrary, this seems like one of those stories where, well, this guy, I mean, bad check or not, he's a nonviolent criminal, and a
security guard, right? He works security.
Yeah, and
we don't know that it actually was a bad check. We know that somebody made a phone call. That's what we know.
Yeah.
The last I heard,
Let's go to Pat
it was
Michigan.
a bad 20.
Yep. Pat, you're on Free Talk Live.
Good evening, fellas.
What's on your mind?
All right. Well, I've been thinking about how both the East and the West Coast have been calling us flyover country forever.
Yeah.
And we're the breadbasket of America. I mean, you listen to Chevrolet commercials, we're the heartbeat of America. And
so let those
I can
coasts
see where I can see where if a civil war were to transpire, where it would be the city folks against the country folks. But my whole thinking is that both the coasts are pretty much parasitical, and they're just sucking on the sap from the country folks. And it makes no sense. Like you said, they burn down their neighborhoods and expect tax dollars to rebuild them, and the whole thing is freaking insane.
I kind of think when you say they're parasitical, I guess the first thing that came to mind was like Silicon Valley. Now there's a pretty left place, but they produce things that we in the country use and are delighted in. I mean, I like my computer. I like to go online.
And they send you money for the food that the country produces, so you can buy other things.
Sure.
As well.
And obviously, if you had to do without one for a week, you'd probably rather do without your computer than your food. So I mean, there's a Maslow's hierarchy of needs puts the the red flyover country on a little higher basis, but yeah, I mean, I guess there's some folks in the blue counties that are doing something.
Well, I don't know. Let's take the stock exchange for an example.
Okay.
All right. They keep America's heartstrings on a Duncan yo-yo, up and down and up and down, and it's all to feed the monsters, the 5, 7, 11 families around the world that actually have all the bullion to perpetrate these different fiascos.
Well, but you don't have to participate in the stock market.
Yeah, but that's not city versus rural.
No,
that's
but
bankers versus 7 billion people.
Billion, yes.
Yeah. Well, who drove us into the first depression? The bankers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
right,
I mean,
boys,
hey,
peace
I
out.
would take out every banker on this earth and burn the ashes and send it into space and salt space, but that, like, banker is not equivalent to city.
Well, darling, don't do that because it's going to rain back down us on fly ash and we'll be poisoned forever.
That's where you get to stop because you stop the caller at the joke. That there's radio talk. Thank you so much for the call, Pat. Appreciate it. Let's go to David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Listening on KENN in beautiful FC, New Mexico. FC USA, home of the car dealers that cheat you.
What's on your mind?
Lots of stuff. So I lived right in that neighborhood. I lived 6 blocks from that first Target that went down. I lived there for several years, and I know every inch of that city. So I was listening to the scanners. I made it a project to listen to basically like 8 hours of scanner and every other social media I could find of live on the spot stuff to see from a tactical standpoint what was going down. And so there were some interesting things. The most interesting is the obvious political operatives that since you're short on time, that you might label as Antifa, little scrawny, no testosterone white boys on their bicycles with their backpacks and their funky hipster styling and going around smashing things and setting things on fire. They were obviously, basically the same thing as the Russian Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution, the Communist Revolution in Russia. Same kind of operatives, like Trotsky kind of.
They'll probably be as successful in running a government too.
Yeah, right. Well, they'll never get that far. Hopefully they're smashed. They smashed like bugs, like they should be. But and that guy.
Well, in
the
Flint,
cop
Michigan,
guy,
I'll rebut. As I read it, the cops in Flint, Michigan, put down their riot gear and joined the protesters. So I mean, there are some aspects where you're seeing, like in between the Reds and the Whites in Russia, where it seems like they're losing control of some of their folks.
Are they putting down their paychecks?
Yeah,
too?
but they're not really what you're seeing is they're not really their folks. There's like 4 different groups of people with different motivations, and some of the groups make use of the other groups, the tools, and the tools think that the people that are controlling them for their purposes are have the same goals in mind, and they don't. But so they're kind of being harnessed, as tools to do these things. And then there's the purely opportunists. That's another group, and so there's various different groups mixed in, and they make the mistake of thinking that they actually have the same outcomes in mind, and they don't. But that cop that worked as security, I watched an interview. Part of this 20 some hours that I watched, I found the owner of that bar being interviewed. And she said that she doubts that cop, or at least she doesn't think that the cop and George Floyd had much, if any, contact and enough to know each other, to any degree at all, because the dude was on the inside, the black dude was on the inside, and the white dude was on the outside, and the white dude, he doesn't work for the bar. He's a rent-a-cop. You call the police and arrange for a cop who wants the overtime to show up in his uniform with all his government-issued gear and stand outside and keep control outside of the bar is what he did. Another thing.
Sounds like a delightful place with all this security.
I mean, it's a
that's
club,
all
man.
bar. That's all bars. It was a Mexican bar. It was every city has something midnight rodeo, and it's a Mexican bar, and they play Mexican music, and that's what it was. It was on Lake Street. Anyway, so this cop, the only time he would have even gone in that bar, he would have showed up and just stayed outside. He would have only even gone in if he needed to use the head or get a drink of water. That's the only thing he would have gone inside that bar for, from my observations in decades of watching these guys.
Interesting points, David. I don't know whether these people ever met or not, but certainly there's always that bar in town where they do open heart surgery every Saturday night, and doesn't sound like a nice place to me. Why go there? Why, people? Why do you go there?
For the tacos.
Go instead to freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,735, silver at $18.34, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,422. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, millions of Americans feel like the country is drifting precariously close to the point where social cohesion unravels. What's the Minneapolis Police Department solution? Arrest a team of journalists live on air. The same police department that hired the officer who cruelly and arbitrarily murdered George Floyd has responded to the intensifying media coverage of the riots that are now beginning to spread across the U.S. with what some might describe as Stalinist tactics. The Free Thought Project reports CNN tweeted a photo of reporter Omar Jimenez being taken into custody in the middle of the live report.
I'm sorry?
You're under arrest.
Okay. Do you mind telling me why I'm under arrest, sir? Why am I under arrest, sir? Officer's with CNN and he's on the air right now.
The video was captured by the crew while they were being arrested. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz told CNN Worldwide President Jeff Zucker he deeply apologizes for what happened. The crew has since been released from custody. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. In a tweet around midnight Friday morning, President Donald Trump took to his Twitter account and threatened to begin extrajudicially executing protesters suspected of looting in Minneapolis. The Free Thought Project says it's an unprecedented move by a president and speaks to the nature of the current situation in the United States. Stealing a TV